I was talking to one of the leader at Airbnb, and he was talking about companies like Uber and Airbnb and how
Yeah.
their hockey stick growth never let them focus on their whys, right? So uh, Airbnb is lucky in that Uber was had a total different, pretty hyper growth in that aspect. So if you are a company that is rapidly growing and things are
Yes.
supposedly working out for you, and you never get a chance to look at your whys, how would you look at those organizations? How would they sort of
Yeah. Man,
fix
I
their
have been and look, I've been there. The fact is I had two companies for 8 years on these Inc. 5000 lists and Inc. 500 lists, and the fact is, as exciting as that is, and it's a great honor, there that comes at a cost, and you have to look at that cost, what it is, and there's a way to do it, but you have to work hard to make sure that you're looking at the people. I mean, the best way to really understand why is to go back to, like, how am I interacting with people? Like, if the deepest why that all of us can fulfill is helping others, right? And it's and all I have to do, if every single person decided that they were going to make their priority, not the only thing they do, but the priority in their life, helping others, then, and that was whoever was around them, starting with their spouse or their girlfriend or their boyfriend or whatever, and then their kids, and then their coworkers, and then the people they run into wherever. That concept, if you just allow yourself to not compartmentalize. So I lived a long time before I wrote the books compartmentalizing. In fact, that's really where the breaking why came from.
mm,
Is I
mm,
finally broke right after writing The Art of Why. I went through a divorce. I really got broken, and it was real. It was the final stage of being set free from this concept that I needed. I the only way I could hold it all together is by compartmentalizing things, and, like, okay, what I do at work over here, that's just over there. I'm actually watching this crazy show right now on Apple TV. I don't know if you've seen it, called Severance. Have you seen this?
no.
Oh my God. It's it's written by Ben Stiller. I don't know how it's going to end, but basically
Mm,
what happens is that you've got these people that have chosen to sever their memories from when they're at work. They go down to the severance floor, and in the elevator they forget everything about who they are at home. And then when they go
mm,
up the elevator, they forget everything from work. So it's
mm,
completely severed. And that's the solution that they're saying you should do. And it's like the ultimate playing out the tape of, like, we should compartmentalize what we do at work from what we do at home. And that's total bullshit.
mm,
That is the misconception. And this is obviously an extreme uh,
mm,
example. And I don't know if you watch any television shows, but definitely check it out, because I think with your work with AI and people and this
mm.
whole conversation, you've got to watch that show. It's brand new. It's only got 4 or 5 episodes out. It's something. Gets you thinking, but the fact is, I used to, in my own way, was living that subconsciously. And it wasn't until I broke all that down and realized I can't try to be compartmentalized and one person here, one person there. I'm not wholehearted. And so I'm not going to be fulfilled. So a lot of people that are stuck or don't know how to get started, it's because they're still trying to live in this duality that does not exist.
Mm.
I heard it said by who's the guy who founded Amazon?
Jeff
Bezos?
Bezos, yeah.
Jeff Bezos. Yeah. Okay.
Mm,
So that guy, he said that there's not a work life balance.
mm,
Basically, it's a joke. It's
mm,
not a work life balance. It's just a
mm,
life balance, basically. And I
mm,
forget how he put it, and you can probably look it up. But I thought it was an
mm,
interesting idea, and it resonates with me as well. I can't be two people and think
mm,
that I'm going to be fulfilled. I'm not going to go to that level of true freedom, happiness, and joy and serenity if I'm living a duality that most of us do live. It's just the way it's designed. And so I think that this new generation of workforce and the millennials have really challenged that a lot. And there's more people are demanding to be able to be themselves and be open and be whatever they are. And nowadays, most businesses are starting to realize they have to get on board with that,
mm.
in order to do that. So that this book kind of helps you work through that, the emotions behind trying to put all that together as a leader.
Interest. So you raise a very interesting point. So I think breaking why, right? So you you had a life, you were doing things, and then you have to reset, you have to readjust your whys,
That's
right?
right.
So many times, I was talking to someone today morning, industrial psychologist, and we were talking about this idea of basically resisting change. So as a leader, basically performance. So as a leader, I'm always appreciated for how I perform, and if I am a good performer, typically I don't like to let relinquish my control. So I'll keep things in my control. So I'm basically running my own set of whys, right? They have been working for me, and suddenly the things, the external factors start impacting us, and now my struggle with my why started showing up, because my whys are no longer relevant in the current times. And pandemic has, if has shown us anything, it's just that idea of, okay, everyone's why is very vulnerable to the outside factors that we have to adjust to.
That's
So
right.
um, in your effort to help businesses and leaders and entrepreneurs understand their and sort of fix their whys, what are some of the things that you have seen that you could share of businesses? How has some of the successful leaders or businesses able to adjust their whys to this new reality, instead of holding on to a sinking ship and sort of going really down before they realize now there's no way to go up, which is slightly painful for many
Oh
of
yeah.
us.
I don't know if it's slightly painful. I'd say it's very painful.
Yeah.
So, the biggest thing is that it starts with me. As a
Mhm.
leader, I've got to go inside. This is an inside job. We think that it's out there. Like if I could just get my teams right, or if I could just get this protocol right, or if I could just get this tech right, or if I could get the product right, or distribution, or all these external things, when everything that truly is going to make the difference is on the inside. And so the good news is if we are a leader, we have a responsibility to that. But all we have to do as a leader is to change, be willing, open minded, and honest about where we are today, and be willing to break that ourselves, and be willing to do the hard things that are required to evolution is not a pretty painless experience. It's long, grueling, very painful, and it requires a massive amounts of high pressurized change over a significant amount of time. So I've got to be willing to put myself in that position. I've got to eat change for breakfast. And so as as long as I'm the one who is holding on to my old innovations. See, the problem with most of us leaders is that we got there because we did something. We innovated somewhere along the line, or maybe we did it a couple times. The so what's going to kill me as an innovator, and it is the innovator's dilemma. It's the same thing. Have you read the Innovator's Dilemma book?
Yes.
That's a great book, right? And,
Yeah.
and and so you can see how the companies that failed, and many companies that we know about, they're gone. I mean, great
Mm.
companies, Blockbuster and J.C. Penney's and Sears, and J.C. Penney's might still be here, but there's a lot of companies, Montgomery Ward, that Kmart, they were huge, they were the thing, but they
Mm.
did not adapt because they were still living on these old models, and then all of a sudden Uber, Netflix, all these companies come in and they change the game because they're not thinking along the old game. But so if we're the people that have had success, that's the people that I consider stuck, whether they know it or not. And
Mm.
sometimes it's too late. I could have held on to the company I sold last year for a lot longer, and maybe I would have made more money. Maybe I would have been more successful. But also, too, I've got to be willing to know that, like, I built something great. This is a moment that's calling. Let that moment happen. That's the only way I'm going to be available for the next moment. It's when we hold on too tightly to the old innovations that we no longer can innovate again, and that's where the principles behind what I've learned and experienced and the other people that I've worked with have also proven through these same truths and principles. That's if as long as I'm holding on tight, it's going to break. So I can either break my why or it'll break me.